All right, guys. So, welcome to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. As you know, we've got all of the chapters read into the channel. And now we're going to be working on chapter 4 homework. And so the first thing that we know about chapter 4 is that specialized knowledge is the fourth step toward riches. And so let's see, it says the specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations. And this is via the handbook. As you know, I like to do 2 sets of homework. I like to do the homework that is prescribed in the chapter as written by Napoleon Hill. And then we also do the guide work, which is the homework as interpreted by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. There are 2 kinds of knowledge, general and specialized. General knowledge, no matter how great in quantity or variety it may be, is of little use in the accumulation of money. The faculties of the great universities possess, in the aggregate, practically every form of general knowledge known to civilization. Most of the professors have little or no money. They specialize in teaching knowledge, but they do not specialize in the organization or the use of knowledge. Which is funny because I was talking to some friends in the real estate investment community recently, and they asked me why am I so focused on this book and why I've been spending so much time with studying it. And my answer was because I've always considered myself more of an academic than a business owner. And so I have to switch my quest for knowledge and the quest to impart that knowledge on others to making my consciousness a money consciousness, right? So that's why I'm spending so much time and energy on this endeavor, because professors and teachers and educators typically don't make a lot of money. And so I have to break myself of the academic mindset and give myself a money consciousness. Okay, going back to the guidebook here. Knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite end of the accumulation of money. Lack of understanding this fact has been the source of confusion to millions of people who falsely believe that knowledge is power. It is nothing of the sort. Knowledge is only potential power. It becomes power only when and if it is organized into definite plans of action and directed to a definite end. The missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today may be found in the failure of educational institutions to teach their students how to organize and use knowledge after they acquire it. As many of you know, one of the services, business-to-business services I will be providing in the new year is teaching people how to organize their knowledge, organize their records, organize their thoughts so that they can scale to the next level. If you can't manage the information that you have, how will you acquire more knowledge, right? Before you can be sure of your ability to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent, you will require specialized knowledge of the service, merchandise, or profession you intend to offer in return for fortune. Perhaps you may need much more specialized knowledge than you have the ability or the inclination to acquire. If true, you can bridge your weakness through your mastermind group. Andrew Carnegie stated that he personally knew nothing about the technical end of the steel business. Moreover, he did not particularly care to know anything about it. The specialized knowledge he required for the manufacture and marketing of steel, he found available through the individual units of his mastermind group. The accumulation of great fortunes calls for power that is acquired through highly organized and intelligently directed specialized knowledge. But that knowledge does not necessarily have to be in the possession of the person who accumulates the fortune. The preceding paragraph should give hope and encouragement to everyone with ambition to accumulate a fortune who has not possessed the necessary education to supply such specialized knowledge as required. Many people go through life suffering from inferiority complexes because they are not educated. The person who can organize and direct a mastermind group who possesses knowledge useful in the accumulation of money is just as much a person of education as anyone in the group. Remember this, if you suffer from a feeling of inferiority because your schooling has been limited, Thomas A. Edison had only 3 months of schooling during his entire life. He did not lack education, neither did he die poor. And Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company, had less than a 6th grade schooling, but he managed to become enormously influential in the industrial world, introducing revolutionary new mass production methods and the first moving assembly line for cars, which greatly benefited him financially. As knowledge is acquired, it must be organized and put into use for a definite purpose through practical plans. Specialized knowledge is among the most plentiful and cheapest forms of service. First of all, decide the sort of specialized knowledge you require and the purpose for which it is needed. To a large extent, your major purpose in life, the goal toward which you are working, will determine what knowledge you need. With this question settled, your next move is to acquire accurate information concerning dependable sources of knowledge. The more important of these are your own experience and education, experience and education available through cooperation of others, also known as your mastermind alliance, colleges and universities, public libraries in which books and periodicals may be found, all the knowledge organized by civilization, special training courses such as night schools and home study schools, as well as internet resources. As knowledge is acquired, it must be organized and put into use for a definite purpose through practical plans. Knowledge has no value except what can be gained from its application toward some worthy end. This is one reason why college degrees are not valued more highly. They represent nothing but miscellaneous knowledge. If you contemplate additional schooling, first determine the purpose for which you want the knowledge you are seeking. Then learn where this particular sort of knowledge can be obtained from reliable sources. Successful people in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business, or profession. Those who are not successful usually make the mistake of believing that the knowledge acquiring period ends when they finish school. The truth is that schooling does little more than to put a person in the way of learning how to acquire practical knowledge. To paraphrase that sentence, school basically teaches you how to acquire knowledge. It doesn't teach you the actual knowledge, for whatever it's worth. The basis of all ideas is specialized knowledge. Unfortunately, for those who do not find riches in abundance, specialized knowledge is more abundant and more easily acquired than ideas. Because of this very truth, there is a universal demand and an ever-increasing opportunity for the person capable of helping men and women sell their personal services advantageously. Capability means imagination, the one quality needed to combine specialized knowledge with ideas in the form of organized plans designed to yield riches. If you have a keen imagination, the next chapter may present you with an idea sufficient to serve as the beginning of the riches you desire. Remember that the idea, the thought, is the main thing. Specialized knowledge may be found just around the corner. any corner. Important summary points. There are two kinds of knowledge, general and specialized. General knowledge is of little use in the accumulation of money. Knowledge will not attract money unless it is organized and intelligently directed through practical plans of action to the definite end of accumulation of money. The missing link in all systems of education known to civilization today is how to organize and use knowledge after it is acquired. Decide what sort of specialized knowledge you require and the purpose for which it is needed. Then acquire it. Knowledge has no value except what can be gained from its application toward some worthy end. Successful people in all callings never stop acquiring specialized knowledge related to their major purpose, business, or profession. Take action. The questions that you have as your homework are, have you determined the purpose and need for gaining specific knowledge? Number 2, what kind of specialized knowledge do you need to realize your goals? List your ideas for potential sources of specialized knowledge below. Number 3, have you researched and found a reliable, credible source for gaining that particular sort of knowledge? What specific steps are you going to take to begin acquiring the specific knowledge you need to succeed? Write down the steps, write down the timeline, then take action. All right, so we're going to pause here. I'm going to do the homework, and then I'm going to let you know how I finished up. In this particular case, I've mentioned in chapters previously that I felt like the book itself had better homework than the study guide. But in this case, the study guide had the better homework. In the chapter, it mostly talked about determining what specialized knowledge that you need, determining where to find the specialized knowledge that you need, and setting the specialized knowledge on a course toward success. So the study guide tells us, have you determined the purpose and need for gaining specific knowledge? And my answer is, when specific knowledge makes one a subject matter expert, and as a result of a need in the community, one becomes a solution in that community and fills a need. Number 2, what kind of specialized knowledge do you need to realize your goal? List your ideas for potential sources of specialized knowledge to date. Now, keeping in mind that I have lots of sources of specialized knowledge as a part of my profession, my answer was to continue studying new ways to serve the real estate community and small business owners and grassroots nonprofits in growing and maintaining their missions and goals, monitoring their adherence to laws and best business practices, as well as making connections to help my clients build their own mastermind alliances. I will continue engaging with the professional publications, government agency bulletins, continuing legal education classes, networking, and diving deep into understanding my clients' goals and missions. Number 3, have you researched and found a reliable, credible source for gaining that particular sort of knowledge? My answer was yes. I have lots of opportunities for education and lots of opportunities for folks who seek such education. What specific steps are you going to take to begin acquiring the specific knowledge you need to succeed? Write down the steps, write down the timeline, and take action. I currently receive updates from the Secretary of State of Kentucky, the Internal Revenue Service, the Kentucky Office of the Governor, the Kentucky Department of Revenue, the Financial Crime Enforcement Network, the Kentucky Real Estate Investors Association, as well as several paralegal publications and several social media outlets such as Facebook groups and pages and YouTube channels. So until next time, when we will be doing chapter 5 homework, I hope that you have fun with your quest for specialized knowledge in determining how you are going to succeed with your organized planning. Until then, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And follow me also on my website, which is my reisecretweapon.com. You can also text me questions about the books if you don't want to drop them in the comments at 502-876-7078. Thanks, guys.